comes from Pittodrie. This should be an absolute belter. It's Aberdeen up against the Motherwell for a place in the semi-finals of the League Cup with Willie Miller, Stephen Craigan and Alistair Lamont.
Thanks, Kenny. Welcome to Pittodrie as last season's beaten semi-finalists do battle for a place in the League Cup. Last four once again. Neither side has managed a league win so far, but unbeaten Motherwell come into this tie in better spirits. The last time Aberdeen started a league campaign as badly was 2011, an identical record after 4 games. And that same season, 14 years ago to the day, they tumbled out of this very competition against East Fife. They were looking to ensure the similarities to that season do not continue this afternoon. The players out on the pitch, Aberdeen all in their traditional red kits, Motherwell in a change kit of all sky blue. Very nice it is too, as both Graham Shinnie and Liam Gordon go through the coin toss with the referee John Beaton, who now makes his way into the centre circle with the match ball. Aberdeen going from right to left as we look at it from the back of the main stand here at Pittodrie. A gentle wind by Pittodrie standards blowing, but otherwise a pretty still day all told. The pitch is in excellent condition as well, so absolutely no excuses here for anything other than a really good game of football. Which of these sides will emerge victorious? We may need extra time and penalties as they did last night then at Rugby Park to separate the sides. I wouldn't be at all surprised if that were the case. And I think we're going to be delayed here because from what I can see, John Beaton is motioning that he's not hearing VAR in his headset, so that's less than an ideal start for the officials. Gavin Duncan is the VAR today, and John Beaton's just come across to this near side with both managers out there at the touchline. They both came up against each other in Sweden, as Tyrone alluded to in the interviews pre-match. Jens Bertolasco's Gothenburg actually beat Jimmy Tillin's Elfsborg in Tillin's final game in charge before making the move here to Aberdeen. But the head-to-head record is a win apiece and a draw, so one of those two will move in front in that head-to-head before the close of play today. Now John Beaton is jogging back onto the field of play, and it looks like we're going to get underway a minute or so behind schedule, and indeed we are. And it's Aberdeen. We go back to Dimitar Mitov, all in purple, and he launches it up towards Kevin Nisbet, who tries to help it on there in the attacking area, but it's picked up by Motherwell. Shinnie helps it forward once more. O'Donnell back in the Motherwell starting lineup, plays it down the right flank, but it's knocked out of play, and it will be a Motherwell throw-in at near side as O'Donnell, who's in for Katrumbis, prepares to take this throw-in. He'll have to fetch the ball himself though. Midway inside his own half then, looking for options, the former Scotland international, and Motherwell play from right to left, and it's picked up by Longolo, who started his Motherwell career in highly impressive form. There's a handball in there. It's going to be a Motherwell free kick, and interesting to see how Aberdeen approach this game. You would be natural if confidence is a little bit low given the results so far, the failure to score in the league. The only goals here came against FCSB in their European qualifying, the 2-2 draw, as it's not long by Callum Ward looking for Charles Cook, but it's headed away by Jensen in the right back position for Aberdeen. He plays it infield to Armstrong. There's a loose pass there, and it's gone behind for a Motherwell corner. Willie, that's not exactly the way Aberdeen would have wanted to start this one.
It wasn't in the script, I'm sure. You know, Stuart Armstrong, well, the experience that he's got as well in that position, obviously trying to keep it calm, but you know, the pace of the pass back, and it was not directed properly either. Dorrington out there looked amazed at the pace and the lack of direction that it had. So, you know, Stuart Armstrong in there to use his experience, not using it particularly well and giving away the first corner.
Which will be taken by Elliot Watt, left-hand side for Motherwell, right-footed, plays it short though, and it's worked back the way, and it's Longolo from the edge of the box, curls it back post, an inviting looking ball, and it's turned behind again for another corner. It was Dorrington who got there, and he had to make that interception because Motherwell had a man round the back. I think it was Stephen Welsh who was looking at the back post, Stephen Craigan, and he would have had a fairly straightforward header had Dorrington not made the interception.
Yeah, it's an excellent defensive header, but I've got to say, good imagination from Motherwell. Aberdeen have got everyone into the box, so they're just trying to drag them all towards the ball to free someone up on the edge. I wonder, will they try something again, or will they just put it in and see if they can win a 1v1 duel? Yeah,
Mazwanisi is offering himself short. It's going to be Longolo this time from the right-hand side. It'll be the in-swinger with the left foot, which is taken into the 6-yard box. That's a good take from Dimitar Mitov at the edge of his 6, because he was under a bit of pressure there, but it was a confident take, and now Aberdeen come on the counter. On the left-hand side is Jesper Karlsson. Knocks it back the way to Gyamfi, the left back. Infield to Graham Shinnie as Aberdeen look to venture forward for more or less the first time. Gyamfi, who impressed Willie last weekend against Livingston. Shinnie plays it square on the halfway line to Dorrington as Mother will get everyone back behind the ball. Shinnie once more coming forward on the left-hand side. Gyamfi once more. Forward it goes to Alshish. Back to Gyamfi again on the left-hand side. Now Shinnie again, midway inside Motherwell territory. Back it goes to Knuster, just inside his own half. Armstrong comes and takes it off him on the halfway line. Admittedly, he is short of match fitness, but he says his general fitness is pretty decent. He was in training with Hamilton Accies, his friend John Rankin is the manager, so he's been keeping himself pretty trim. And he starts this one as Motherwell knock the ball out of play on this near side. It's going to be a throw-in down near the corner flag as Aberdeen attack on the left.
I thought Graham Shinnie did really well there. You know, he's just trying to put that Motherwell defence under a little bit of pressure. Gyamfi was well up in advance, and you know, just winning that throw-in.
Nisbet gets the flick on at the near post. Out comes Ward unchallenged and clutches that one for Motherwell. 4.5 played, no goals. Here we'll keep you up to date with the goals around the grounds as the afternoon progresses. We've got Brian McLaughlin at Dens Park who'll keep us up to date with any goals between Dundee and Livy, and Kenny will go round the other score lines over the course of each half here. But centre stage are Aberdeen and Motherwell here in this League Cup quarter-final as Aberdeen win possession back in a good area. It's Keskin on the right-hand side, back to Jensen, and then Dorrington back to Knuster, just inside his own half, inside the centre circle. Armstrong comes and looks for it, playing a little bit deeper than we've seen him play previously in his time in Scotland, but very comfortable certainly in that central area. But Aberdeen have lost possession until Shinnie steps in with a good challenge there to win it back, and now it's Alshish advancing towards the penalty area. On the left hand side it's Karlsson to curl it back post. It's just beyond Nisbet, and Jensen can't get there either, and it's behind for a goal kick. Not a bad effort in terms of the cross from Karlsson, just a little bit too much on it. 0-0 here.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky I thought, but more thought getting into that cross, and he actually get his head up as well. Last week he was putting it in without looking, but Karlsson on this occasion gets the head up. Sees the two of them at the back post. You know, you can see that Aberdeen are on the high press. That's for sure. They know that Motherwell are going to try to build it up from the back, and they want to try to nip it early and create some opportunities when Motherwell maybe give possession away.
But that's where I said I think Aberdeen will get their success, Al. They can gamble and press because Motherwell don't want to go long. They want to play it across their box back to the goalkeeper, which means Aberdeen can edge, and if they nick the ball, they're only 30 or 40 yards from goal. So there's a real chance of counter-attacking football here from Aberdeen this afternoon.
It's in the possession of Mats Knuster, who goes square midway inside his own half to Alfie Dorrington, back on loan from Spurs again after being generally pretty impressive, the young centre back last season when he came in. Shinnie gets out to the left hand side, although play is stopped, and it's Gyamfi who's been penalised for an off the ball challenge. I think on Mazwanisi, who's clattered to the floor. Look, to me looked like just a coming together off the ball, but John Beaton sees it as a foul by the Aberdeen player. Motherwell will get the free kick about 10 yards inside their own half. We've played 7 minutes. It's Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
The positioning of Gyamfi's interesting because he's actually playing like an inverted fullback, and they want to try and isolate Carls from 1v1 against Stephen O'Donnell where possible. He's going in there, he's dragging Maswanisi back. Maswanisi wants to attack and get forward, so I think just trying to move him is going to unsettle him this afternoon.
Liam Gordon in possession, Motherwell captain, plays it to O'Donnell, and back with Gordon once more. Former St Johnstone man. He plays it forward, it's a loose pass though, and Armstrong bursts forward now on the left-hand side. Plays it back the way though, that's a loose pass as well, and lovely skill by Said. A little nutmeg there on Shinnie, and now he's motoring forward. Aberdeen struggling here, Said can't find the pass though, and Armstrong recovers and wins possession again on the edge of his own penalty area, but now it's Aberdeen countering through Ashish. Can he find the pass where Said couldn't at the other end? He's going to take the shot on instead, and it trundles really past the right-hand post to Callum Ward. Decent counter-attack, but Motherwell at the other end, I think they had a 5-on-3 there, and Said just couldn't find the correct pass.
They did, yeah. I don't know if he was looking hard enough, to be perfectly honest. There was definitely options open for him, but eventually, after some great work round about the halfway line, he gives away possession. And then Aberdeen at the other end, Ashish, in my opinion, again, he had, players to his right, players to his left. He had Nisbet through the middle. He decides to hit the strike. I think when you take that strike on, you better hit the target, and he didn't.
Absolutely. Here is Ashish once more on the left-hand side of the box, clips it to the back post, but there's no one there, and that'll just bounce behind for another goal kick as the sun just emerges through the clouds here in the northeast. Pretty pleasant day, no goals as yet, but chances at either end. Opening certainly as Motherwell looked to play out from the back, and they made a hash of it, and they just managed to avoid the corner. But Stephen, I mean, that's it. We've seen it from the off. It's how they want to build out, but it has to be done with precision, doesn't it?
It is, but you're coming to Aberdeen and they're a little bit vulnerable, they're a little bit fragile, and you're playing right into their hands. You're giving the ball away, you're playing across your own goal line, you're encouraging them to come and press you, which is lifting the Aberdeen fans and lifting the Aberdeen players. I think it's very, very naive, to say the least.
Gyamfi can't get forward and has to go back the way to Knuster. And now it's Mitov, about 20 yards outside his penalty area. Back to Knuster on the left-hand side. He plays it up forward to Carlson, well challenged by O'Donnell, who's right in behind him, and knocks it out of play for a throw-in on the halfway line, which will be taken by Gyamfi. Back to Knuster, and square again for Dorrington. Almost 10 on the clock, no goals at Pittodrie. Same at Dens between Dundee and Livingston in the Premiership. One league game in the top flight taking place today as Watt squeezes it through for Farringers. Good bit of play again from Motherwell, but Charles Cook's lost out in the middle of the park, and then he's in trying to recover it, committed the foul on Topi Keskinen, and it'll be a free kick Aberdeen's way, a yard or so inside their own half, pretty much in the central area. Shinnie prepares to take this free kick.
I think just any kind of sloppiness from both sides, Al, is encouraging the opposition. Stuart Armstrong's been sloppy a couple of times. I think Callum Ward's been sloppy out from goal. It's just presenting the opposition with opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jinx the game. It does look like it's going to be extremely open, and that would generally tend to suggest there will be goals, although Aberdeen have found them extremely hard to come by, certainly in the league, failing to score in their opening 4 games. As the ball's rolled out of play there accidentally by Gyamfi as he tried to link up with Carlson on this left-hand side. So Motherwell will have the throw-in with 11 minutes on the clock and no goals scored. You listen to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with this live coverage of the League Cup quarter-final. Here's Gordon just to the right of his own box, played back to the keeper again by Watt, and then out to Gordon once more, still inside the Motherwell penalty area. Well, I'll tell you what, they've played round the Aberdeen press brilliantly on that occasion as Said brings it forward, but I mean the Motherwell fans must have their hearts in their mouths watching that at times, but you could say it's pretty exhilarating. But,
I tell you, it's fantastic when it comes off, isn't it?
The key words being when it comes off, Willie. That's the risk. It is risk and reward. So if something goes wrong, the manager's got to hold his hand up, because that's how he wants his team to play. So you just have to get on with it.
That's Watt out to the right hand side. It's a good ball for O'Donnell. He tries to help it into the box. First time, not behind by Gyamfi. Another Motherwell corner. 12 minutes in as we await the opening goal of full commentary later on from Ibrox as Rangers host Aberdeen in this competition as well. And Motherwell will have the corner here as Longolo comes forward on the right hand side, and he'll potentially whip this one in left footed again, although Mazwanisi once more offering himself short. Keskinen close to him to try and minimise the threat, and it is short to Mazwanisi, and then he plays it back the way and it's flipped in towards the back post. A mirror image of the effort from earlier on, but Stamatopoulos is pushed Knuster there, and that brings that game, that move to an end. But you would have thought Aberdeen would have been a bit more wise to the ball going back the way as it did only 5 minutes ago on the other side.
Al, it's interesting. It's interesting now. You know, if I had anything to do, there'd be two men out there. Motherwell have got to take her +1. That
was always the way.
Yeah. You know, to try and make sure that they didn't use that short corner. So, and it was. You've got plenty of time. That's the delivery was pretty good towards the back post. A little push in the back. There wasn't any doubt about that. But at the same time, I would have thought that Jimmy Tulane would be wanting another player out there to defend against a corner, and that's probably a third corner. Certainly the second corner they've taken short.
That's the second one short. One of them went into the box, but. It's just when the ball's laid back the second time around, you would think that there would be an Aberdeen player out there. Here come Motherwell down the left-hand side now, and it's Longolo once more joining in with the attack. Jensen's out to meet him. Angle of the box here. Longolo into the box, blocked by Jensen as he tries to fire it across goal. It's Charles Cook. And now, again, it's good interchange here. Longolo looking to get on the end of that as a free kick for a little shove there. It wasn't all that much in it as Jensen went down, but I'll tell you what, Motherwell looked dangerous coming forward, Stephen, without a doubt.
I think that was a little. I just looked a little bit soft, as if Jensen, I think, was trying to make the tackle, and Longolo just kind of pulled out a little bit. That's where you want to work your magic. That's where you want to play your 1-2s and your little balls around the corner and your little step overs, Al. In the final third of the pitch, that's where you get your creativity and where you get your spark from. Just back to the set play one. I think Aberdeen are zonal marking, so they've got 4 or 5 players in the 18-yard box defending corners, not doing anything, which leaves them leaves them light in the edge of the box, and Motherwell are trying to capitalise on that.
That's Knuster down to his captain Graham Shinney, who played an awful lot at a left back, certainly towards the end of last season, but he's back in the midfield. And I think he's pretty much played there for the most part, Willie, this season so far, is he?
Yeah, that would be his preferred position, I would suggest. You know, he can play a left back. He does it extremely well. He's really influential and pretty forward thinking as well. Likes to get forward from the left back area, but midfield is where he's played most of his game, certainly in the last few years at Aberdeen.
There's a school of thought as Aberdeen win a corner that maybe with him and Sivert Nielsen in there, that there's not enough legs, and Nielsen is the one who pays the price perhaps today for some below par performances as he drops to the bench. But Aberdeen do have this corner, which will be taken by Jesper Karlsson on the left-hand side. Man on loan from Bologna, much expected of him in an Aberdeen jersey as he swings a low corner and a poor delivery, really, as Mazwanisi is easily able to clear. Sheesh gets it back out to Karlsson, no left-hand side, down near the corner flag. Mazwanisi's still with him. Comes all the way back to Stuart Armstrong, about 35 yards from goal. Plays it short to his left to Jensen, and now Gyamfi on the left infield to Shinney. Shinney up to the angle of the box, fires it in low again. It's cut out pretty comfortably there by Elliot Watt, and Motherwell will try and spring the counter. Somehow Stephen O'Donnell's found himself in the left wing position, and he plays a particularly poor ball forward, and that's easily cut out by Gyamfi. 16 played, no goals goals at Pittodrie between Aberdeen and Motherwell in this last day League Cup tie. Shinnie gets a break of the ball against Mazwanisi. Bit fortunate there, but he made his own luck and gets out to Carlson left hand side, trying to twist away from Gordon onto the left foot, fires it too long, but Charles Cook will just have to be careful as Jensen tries to win the corner. I think it's going to be an Aberdeen throw in the end down near the corner flag.
That's an example of, you know, pure delivery. Carlson, really good work. He finds himself in quite a bit of space, and the delivery's too long, too high, right over the top.
Here's Keskinen from the right hand side. Ward backpedaling, clutches that one, gives us a chance to cross the Dens Park. See what's happening, Brian McLaughlin.
Still 0-0 here, Al, between Dundee and Livingston. Home side with lots of possession, but Livingston with the best two opportunities. Robbie Muirhead from the angle, his shot pushed round the corner by the Dundee goalkeeper, and then Macaulay Tate, after good work by Lewis Smith, his shot though straight at John McCracken in the Dundee goal. 17 minutes gone. Dundee 0, Livingston 0.
Thanks, Brian. Just for the benefit of Willie Miller and Stephen Craigan, who weren't hearing Brian there, hopefully the listeners at large were, but still 0-0 in that one. And still 0-0 here as well between Aberdeen and Motherwell, but certainly chances and openings at either end, and I'm fairly confidently predicting that we will get a goal sooner rather than later. Famous last words. Motherwell have it from the back once more, and it's brought forward. Fadinger though, it's a poor pass from him. Jensen intercepts, but it's a terrible ball forward from Jensen. Let's go back to the studio where Kenny can just quickly run through the scores elsewhere in Scotland.
Thanks, Al. Just to confirm what Brian told us, in the one Premiership game, Dundee 0, Livingston 0 into the Championship. 3 games tonight, all goalless so far. Airdrie Wraith, Arbroath Morton, Ross County against Queen's Park. Into League 1, Alloa 1, Cove Rangers 0, East Fife 1, Montrose 0, Celtic Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 3, Queen of the South 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1, Stennismuir 0, Peterhead 0, and in League 2, just going through the games, we've just got the 1 goal, Spartans 0, Stirling Albion 1.
Thanks, Kenny. Still 0-0 here as Meetoff plays it out to Dorrington from the back. He launches diagonal, it's just over the head of O'Donnell and reaches Carlson. Carlson now running at O'Donnell, checks back onto the left, then he relays it to Shinnie. Shinnie edge of the box, goes for the shot, blocked there by Watt and Fadinger, very, very similar and difficult to tell apart from this distance as Carlson clips it in, glancing header from Kevin Nisbet, 2 or 3 yards wide of goal, and still after 19 minutes of this one, it's Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
Again, I don't think it was a particularly great ball into the box. Nisbet trying to make something out of it. The cross coming in from Carlson, plenty of movement and taking on players and finding themselves with a good bit of room there, but I just feel the delivery's got to be better. This is kind of what we witnessed last week and for most of this season, is when Aberdeen do get themselves into a decent area, the quality of the cross just, you know, isn't there. It's not delivered properly.
Aberdeen have it, left hand side. Gyamfi back to Knuster though, and he'll turn it back to the Bulgarian Dimitar Meetov, just outside his box, back with Knuster again, midway inside his own half. Thought about the longer ball forward, then he goes short to Gyamfi instead. Carlson tries to help it back into the pass of Gyamfi, that's cut out by O'Donnell, and then it's equally given away by him, and now Dorrington finds Jensen right hand side, just inside the Motherwell half. Armstrong takes over. He's got Shinnie short inside him. That's where the ball goes. It's Shinnie into the centre circle and now out to the left hand side for Gyamfi. Forward for Aushish. Leaves it to Carlson. Infield again to Armstrong. Looked like he took a little bit of a tug there from Watt, and the referee was on hand to give that free kick, which Graham Shinnie wants to take quickly. He's not going to be allowed to, but it is a free kick in a decent position this for Aberdeen, about 30 yards from goal, left of centre, and certainly an opportunity to put it into an area in which Aberdeen would hope to try and test Callum Ward in the Motherwell goal. Still waiting for the opener here at Pittodrie, as the home fans have been waiting to do for a long time, as it turns out. And Aushish, looks like he might be lining up a shot at goal here. The right-footed effort, could be a threat to Ward. No, he just reverses it to the left to Gyamfi. Gyamfi sends it in dangerously. Who's that going to fall for? Charles Cook sweeps it away as Ward got a touch on it as Gyamfi sent it into the penalty area. And if it had fallen for an Aberdeen player, it would have been an almost certain goal. But Charles Cook was first to react and gets out for a throw on the far side. 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's well worked, isn't it? Obviously something that they have been working on, because it looked as though the shot was on, but little reverse pass, good cross into the box. It was Matt Canister that was the closest Aberdeen player to it, but couldn't get the touch on it.
Shinnie's ball forward is just going to stay in play. Carlson keeps it in, back to Gyamfi, left hand side, looking to lose Mazwanise, plays it off O'Donnell and out for a throw-in. Aberdeen fans appreciating the efforts in the last few minutes as they try to make the breakthrough here at Pittodrie. It's a throw-in just a few yards away from the corner flag on the left hand side, to be taken by the German Gyamfi. Left back lining this one up as if it's going to be a long one. That looked like a foul throw to me. Back to Carlson, allowed to go. Carlson sends it to the back post, and it was well watched by Longolo. Heads it out on the far side for a quickly taken throw in by Jensen. Back to Armstrong, who rolls it further back to Dorrington. Still 15 yards inside the Motherwell half. The visitors with everyone behind the ball. It's Knuster now, tries to clip that one for Carlson. Carlson takes the shot on into the side netting. No flag, but no goal either, and it's still, after 22.5 minutes, midway point of the first half, Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
Yeah, and that's where Aberdeen have had a little bit of success, is dropping the ball over the back of that Motherwell defensive line. They're a little bit high, they're trying to be aggressive in their press, but there's spaces there for the likes of Carlson and Keskin and Nisbet to try and go and work the magic in. So Motherwell just have to be careful. If there's no pressure on the ball, you can't be squeezing.
Here's Farringer out to Longolo, left hand side, midway inside the Aberdeen half. The first goal in this game, as ever, could be crucial. Farringer again, left hand side, rolls it back to Charles Cook. Charles Cook still on the left, leaves it to Longolo, about 25 yards from the byline into Farringer, but he's lost out. The combination of Keskinen and Shinnie, and now Sheesh picks up. There's no one really else forward with him. He plays it to his right though to Nisbet, and Nisbet with a lovely ball now for Carlton. Here come Aberdeen up to the edge of the box. He's got Keskinen outside of him. Here is Keskinen, the Finn, left footed into the box, but it's blocked away, and O'Donnell picks up, and the danger, for the moment at least, is over. Mazwanise just lofts it upfield to get Motherwell up the park, but Aberdeen still have had plenty of decent possession in that final third, but as Willie has been bemoaning, the final ball, the final decisions perhaps just not quite the correct ones at the moment. Maybe that comes with confidence as much as anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, but they've got a fair bit of control of this game, Aberdeen, I would suggest. 24 minutes in, and Motherwell struggling and looking a bit open, particularly down this left hand side. Most of the good work has been down the left hand side. Carlson, Keskinen coming from the right over to the left. Auschwitz is looking pretty lively as well. But you're right, you know, Alan, I've spoken about it all this season, is that the quality, the final touch, the killer pass perhaps, and also having the players to find in the box. You know, Nisbet has been anonymous so far. You know, he is a goal scorer, we know that. We know that goal scorers can be anonymous and just pop up at the right time, but there's been one or two good crosses into the box and there've been no takers.
Motherwell have it through Elliot Watts at St Johnstone last season as they were relegated. He's again getting it back from another former St Johnstone man, Liam Gordon, who was part of that double cup winning team back in 2021. Into Charles Cook, he's crowded out, breaks for Saeed just inside the Aberdeen half. Forward again for Charles Cook, he goes down under the attentions of Carlson and wins his side a free kick midway inside the Aberdeen half, right of centre, and an opportunity here for Motherwell to put the ball into the Aberdeen box.
I thought it was a bit soft. I think Regan Charles Cook was always looking for the foul, he was always looking for the free kick, but you can see how Aberdeen are set up. They're allowing Motherwell to have the ball, they're just waiting to turn the ball over, give it away needlessly, and then they're looking to counter-attack. That's how I thought they would set up. That's exactly what they're doing, and they're getting a little bit of success without having that end product.
Yeah, but they've got some defending to do here as Carlson and Saeed are spoken to for a little bit of needless needle between the pair, and John Beaton just tries to calm that down before Motherwell take this free kick. Longolo and Watt standing over it, the left-footed Longolo, right-footed Elliot Watt, both just mulling over what the best delivery from this position would be. Longolo gives the instruction but leaves it to Watt. It's a outswinger to the back post. It's nodded back the way it's going to come for Fadinger, who blasts it onto the roof of the stand, miles over the top. Just wasn't set at all there, Lucas Fadinger, the Austrian, to hit that one, and it's no threat whatsoever to Dimitar Mitov, and it's still, after 26.5 minutes, Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
Yeah, that probably sums up Motherwell's opening 26 minutes. They've been okay, they've got into decent areas, but they're just lacking something. There's a little bit of dynamism lacking and mobility lacking, whether it's in midfield, that they all want to go towards the ball, everyone wants to go short, no one's actually looking to go forward and try and support Stamatolopoulos, Regan, Charles Cook or Maswanisi.
It's Saeed back in his own half, turns away from Shinnie and moves over the halfway line out to the left hand side, but no way Longolo was ever going to get that. Longolo says, I wanted it to feet. Saeed played it several yards in front of him and out of play as Aberdeen take the throw in, and it comes in field midway inside their own half to Shinnie. It rolls it square to Knauster, coming up towards the halfway line before lifting it over the top, looking for Keskinen. Oh, it's a lovely take from Keskinen, which he had just pulled slightly there by Longolo. He certainly did enough to put him off after a lovely first touch. Now he's got it to Charles Cook, who motors forward down the left flank. Aberdeen getting bodies back. Armstrong's closest to Charles Cook, who tries to drop the shoulder and get away from the experienced Armstrong. Now he stands up to the back post. It's going to come here from Maswanisi, off the post, comes back to Saeed, blasts it over the crossbar. That's the closest we've come to a goal as Maswanisi hits the upright. It's still Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
And it's the first time Regan Charles Cook has actually opened his legs and been positive and got at people. It's a lovely little turn just around the halfway line, gets away from Stuart Armstrong, then slows him down on the left-hand side, stands a lovely cross up to the back post. Maswanisi eventually gets it under control, crashes it off the crossbar, falls to Saeed, penalty spot. You're thinking, can we put it in the net? But lashes it over. Really good counter-attack from Motherwell, but there has to be more from that.
It was, wasn't it? I mean, you know, the quickness as well with Charles Cook down that left-hand side. You know, but the strike, so it was Maswanisi, it was off the post as well. It was, I felt that Guampi maybe got himself in a poor position there under the ball a little bit, and it dropped in behind him to allow Motherwell to get that opportunity. But a let-off for Aberdeen, no doubt about that.
Yep, they have, as Willie's been saying, probably been the better side, a bit more control of the game, but Motherwell showing absolutely they are a threat coming forward, and a bit of a let-off there for the Dons as Maswanisi, Motherwell's top scorer this season with 7 and 4 in this competition already, comes close to adding to that tally, but not close enough as far as Motherwell are concerned. Still 0-0 as the ball's back to Mitov midway inside the Aberdeen half. Now back out to the left to Knauster, tries to clip it over O'Donnell, who backpedals and nods it down to Watt infield to Fadinger. Fadinger midway inside his own half, looks up, and to his left is Longolo, who will pick up possession and move over the halfway line here on that left flank. Down the left it goes to Charles Cook. Cross goes Dorrington with him, and he just knocks it out of play. It'll be another Motherwell corner. And thinking about this game prior to it, I was having trouble deciding which way I thought it would go, and I have to say, about half an hour in, I'm no clearer in my mind as to who's going to come out on top.
I just think the longer the game goes and the less Aberdeen continue to press, the more space Motherwell have, particularly in that midfield area, and that's where they want to dominate. The opening 20 minutes has been really tough, it's been so compact, but once Aberdeen start dropping off or not pressing how they should be, that's when the likes of Fadinger can get on the ball.
Let's see what they do with this corner. They've played a couple short, one swung into the area. It's going to be Watt from the left-hand side, right-footed to curl this one in. O'Donnell's up there. Oh, it's a brilliant save on the line. Second time round, Mitov punches it. Was that Aushish, who somehow managed to stick out the toe to keep O'Donnell's header from crossing the line? Amazing goal line clearance from the Frenchman as Aberdeen try and counter through Keskinen. For another very close call for Motherwell as Aushish now picks up in an attacking position. Out to the left-hand side to Carlson. Carlson back on the right foot on the angle of the box on the left-hand side. Plays it into Dorrington. Dorrington midway inside the Motherwell half. Square for Shinnie. And now Armstrong picks up into the feet of Aushish and gets it back again. There's Armstrong. And he plays it square to Dorrington once more. Motherwell have got everyone back, but it's Dorrington. Clips that in. Ward stretches and catches that one just about on his goal line. But back to that chance, and I mean, it was goal-bound effort from Stephen O'Donnell, but for the goal line.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks as though it's going to end up in the back of the net. You know, O'Donnell doing really well. Just gets a little nod on it. Aushish is going back, manages to hook it just before it goes over the line. I mean, a really intelligent header from Stephen O'Donnell, but great work from the midfield player, the forward thinking midfield player, clearing it off the line.
It's Motherwell who've just been enjoying a little bit more of the attacking play in the last few minutes, and a couple of times actually in the last 3 minutes could have been in front, hitting the post, and one cleared off the line just a moment ago. And it's Longolo and now Charles Cook coming forward once more. Played down the left to Farringer, helps it into the box, but to no real effect. And Dorrington able to clear, but Aberdeen fans enjoying this a little bit less than they were just a few minutes ago. As Farringer picks up and it's long goal inside the box, and it's all the way across goal. It was neither a shot nor a cross really in the end from the full-back, and Teamley behind for a goal kick. And although it's goalless after 32 minutes, it's pretty enjoyable, I'd have to say.
I think the last 4 or 5 minutes, Motherwell have really started to stamp their authority in the game, and it's back to Aberdeen not being in sync or being aligned when they're trying to press. They're kind of getting caught in between. Do they go? Do they stay? Protect what's in behind? Farringer's getting the ball, Watt's getting the ball, and Gello's getting higher up the pitch. Regan Charles Cook's getting more touches on the ball, and Aberdeen fans are getting a little bit frustrated, and Motherwell are starting to enjoy themselves. And when a team starts to enjoy it, sometimes it's difficult to stop, but they need to get the goal when they're on top.
It's Liam Gordon to Stephen Welsh on loan from Celtic. And back comes Watt to pick up possession. Midway inside his own half, looking for options. Aberdeen just standing off him for the moment, and he fires out to this right hand side looking for O'Donnell. Gyamfi cuts it out but only knocks it down to Mazwanisi. Back comes Armstrong to try and close him down. Mazwanisi swings in a cross from the right, but it's well over Markolopoulos, and no other Motherwell player in attendance as Vito comes off his line and takes that one pretty comfortably. 0-0 it stands after 33 minutes. We'll get another update from Brian McLaughlin at Dens just shortly as Knister tries to bring the ball forward. Then he has to go back to Mitov. Mitov at the edge of his area just rolls it to his right to Dorrington. Dorrington down the right flank for Jensen on the stretch. Just gets a touch to keep it in, but then makes a mess of the pass. Welsh cuts it out, and now it's Farringer just inside his own half. Into Watt, and now Longolo, Charles Cook, Farringer. Lovely play from Motherwell. Little bounce passes, and again getting round Aberdeen as it comes out to the right hand side to O'Donnell. Back to the halfway line to Liam Gordon. Elliot Watt once more. Again, Aberdeen have got themselves back in their structure as Liam Gordon picks up once more, plays it into the feet of Mazwanisi. Now it's Saeed out to the right hand side. O'Donnell midway inside Aberdeen half, back again to Watt, forward to Charles Cook, who's come into a central area. Offside flag is up here, and that gives us a chance to cross the Bryant at Dens Park to get an update there.
Yes, I'll still 0-0 here, but Dundee with a couple of really good opportunities. Congreve combined with Wesley, and it was Wesley's cross into the box, parried out by the Livingston goalkeeper, but only to a Livingston defender who was able to clear. And then they turned over the ball around 25 yards from goal, and Congreve again, this time with an effort from distance just about a yard over John McCracken's goal. 10 minutes to the break, still 0-0 here at Dens Park.
Likewise at Pittodrie, between Aberdeen and Motherwell in this League Cup quarter-final. Stuart Armstrong trying to do something about that as he lifts it out to the left-hand side for Carlson. Gyamfi goes beyond him. Here is Gyamfi. Good area, but he can't find a teammate. Gordon cuts out of the near post. And it's gone behind for corner, has it? Yeah, looks like a corner to Aberdeen, this left-hand side, to be taken by Carlson, the home side, looking to be the ones to make the breakthrough with 10 to play in this first period, as both sides look to book a place back at Hampden in the League Cup semi-final. Carlson sends it in low. It's a glancing header at the near post. It wasn't clear whether it was a Motherwell or Aberdeen head that actually got the touch on it, and I'm not sure the officials are altogether clear on it either, but it looks like it's gone as a Motherwell throw-in over on that far side. It was Welsh, the Motherwell player involved. He looked to get a slight touch on it as well. He's hurt himself in the process, but he's back on his feet, and Motherwell will have the throw about 20 yards from their own corner flag on the left-hand side to be taken by Emmanuel Longolo, former West Ham kid, and certainly Jens Bertolasco believes he can get back to a higher level again if he continues to play the way he is for Motherwell. Aberdeen pick up possession in the middle of the park, but it's another loose pass. Too many of them, particularly from Aberdeen, as Motherwell get the free kick for a challenge there on Regan Charles-Cook. He's still lying flat out, but Motherwell get a move on, and then Stephen O'Donnell miscontrols the crossfield ball, and it's out for a throw into Aberdeen, just a few yards inside their own half.
I think it's been littered with little mistakes, Willie, hasn't it? And overhit passes and poor touches and underhit passes. It's just, at times it's been fluent, but other times it's been really scrappy.
Nisbet battling away with Welsh there. It breaks for Aushish. Aushish midway inside the Motherwell half, out to the right-hand side for Jensen. Jensen clips it to the back post. O'Donnell's there, nods it down, but only to Shinnie. Shinnie at the edge of the box, didn't catch the volley, and it's half cleared at least by Faringer. Here's Gyamfi now, leaves it to Shinnie once more, back to the halfway line for Knuster. 0-0 it stands between Aberdeen and Motherwell. Listen to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, live coverage of the League Cup quarter-finals, as Stuart Armstrong for Aberdeen on his first start tries to get past Regan Charles-Cook there, ran straight into him, but the assistant's flagged for an Aberdeen free kick. I'm not sure that...
I've got sympathy for him, to be honest.
Charles-Cook didn't do an awful lot wrong. Armstrong flattened him there, but it's been given effectively as obstruction, I guess, and it'll be a free kick in a decent position as for Aberdeen, just right of the penalty area, and a real chance here.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit hard on the referee there. I think Charles-Cook did kind of throw the leg out a little bit, but there's no doubt that Stuart Armstrong just run right into him as well, so a bit of both worlds there. Referee deciding Aberdeen get a free kick, a dangerous area if the delivery's good.
Yeah, sheesh over it, right hand side of the penalty area. Motherwell with everyone back inside the box to try and avert the danger, which comes in at the near post. It's Knuster with a big chance. Oh, is it crossed the line off the crossbar and down, and everyone looked to the referee, and it was the assistant kept his flag down, didn't run towards the centre of the pitch, which would suggest the ball did not cross the line, but it couldn't have been much closer as it was rattled goalwards by Mats Knuster.
I mean, he's 6 yards out there. How he manages to get that up as high as he did. It is his right foot, his favourite foot is his left, but a huge chance for the centre back. Yeah. It wasn't over the line.
No, it didn't look to be. The replay I just saw there either. So 0-0 it remains. Both sides have hit the woodwork now, and neither has been able to find the back of the net, even though Mats Knuster must have thought it was opening up for him there, as Shinnie now tries to feed it forward for Gyamfi, and then couldn't do so. Mazonisi brings it clear. Shinnie fouls him. Free kick to Motherwell, but Motherwell surviving by the skin of their teeth there. Stephen, we'll just get your thoughts in a second, because we can quickly get back to Kenny for a quick run round the other scorelines.
In the Scottish Premiership, Dundee 0, Livingston 0. In the Championship, 3 games today. Airdrie 0, Raith Rovers 0, Arbroath 0, Morton 0, Ross County 0, Queen's Park 1. Queens have just gone ahead there. Alloa 2, Cove Rangers 0, East Fife 1, Montrose 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 3, Kelty down to 10 men. Queen of the South 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 1. Peterhead have just equalised away at Stennismuir. That one is 1 apiece. And in League 2, Clyde 1, Edinburgh City 1, East Kilbride 0, Dumbarton 0, Forfar 1, and Athletic 0, Spartans 0, Stirling Albion 1, Stranraer 0, Elgin City 0.
Thanks again, Kenny. Still 0-0 here at Pittodrie between Aberdeen and Motherwell, but only because the woodwork has been struck on a couple of occasions, once by either side, and there's been also an amazing goal line clearance from Aushish to keep Motherwell out. So Yeah, we've had just about everything apart from a goal here. It's been an entertaining watch as Jensen picks up right-hand side. Just a few minutes left in this opening period, 4.5 to be precise of the 45, as Armstrong has it right-hand side. In an advanced area, pokes it back here to Aushish. Comes up towards the edge of the box, tries to just slip that through for Keskinen. Motherwell try and work it clear, but Dorrington steps in. Good footwork from Armstrong. Brings it back the way to Gyamfi, about 25 yards from goal, but being forced back by Mazwanisi. Knuster, who at the underside of the bar just a few moments ago. Gets it back from Carlson, just about 10 yards inside the Motherwell half. Looks to lift it over Gordon, but Gordon watches that all the way. And Motherwell, again, trying to play out, just about managed to do so. Saeed helps it down the right-hand side. Mazwanisi now looking for Stamatolopoulos. He could be in here. The Australians through on goal. Knuster trying to get back with him. Plays it square. Big chance. Good save. Great save by Dimitar Mitov. When it looked like Motherwell were going to break the deadlock, Regan Charles-Cook from point-blank range hits it straight at Mitov, who spread himself well, and somehow it's still Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
That's the best chance, isn't it? Wonderful counter-attack from Motherwell. Good pace from Stamatolopoulos. I've got to say, Knuster could not recover. He was struggling. He was trying to get back. He couldn't. It's a great pick-out, I've got to say, by Stamatolopoulos, and it should be 1-0, but wonderful save by Dimitar Mitov. Really big save. Keeps the scores level.
Yeah, I got to say that for the goalkeeper, absolutely. But I'm with you, Charles Cook. He's got to score, isn't he? I mean, it's just a perfect pass right into his path. You know what? Maybe 8 yards out, perhaps 10 yards out, and you can't just hit the goalkeeper. Yeah, Mitov goes down. He makes himself big. He spreads it. Got to have more composure. If he shows composure there, that's a goal.
Yeah, it was very unselfish from Stamatolopoulos, who, as Stephen says, showed great pace to get away from Knuster. Might have gone himself, but he showed good awareness and saw that Charles Cook was probably in a better position, but his teammate let him down with the finish. There's been a goal at Dens. We'll get news on that in just a second as Mazwanisi tries to find Saeed inside the penalty area. Gyamfi gets it clear, and now Aberdeen will come forward looking for a goal before half-time. Play allowed to continue as Keskinen goes down. Aberdeen still in possession. Stuart Armstrong now picking up, driving Aberdeen forward. Goes down, but there was no touch on him, and Motherwell just get it half clear. It's gone out on the far side. Over to Brian quickly.
It's Dundee 1, Livingston 0. Simon Murray on target, just his third of the season. Cammy Congreve set it up. He escaped the attentions of Alan Montgomery down the left-hand side, cut the ball back across the 6-yard box, and there was Simon Murray from 4 yards out to hammer the ball home. Dundee 1, Livingston 0.
Thanks, Brian. 0-0 here between Aberdeen and Motherwell in the League Cup quarter-final. Big chances at either end. You have to say Motherwell have had more of the clear-cut ones. They thought they should have had a free kick there, but John Beaton deciding not, in a good position to decide it. 90 seconds remaining of the opening 45 minutes, and it has been a good watch despite the lack of goals, as Dorrington has it midway inside his own half. Now Shinnie for Armstrong. Armstrong crossing the halfway line now. Played a great pedigree and a real coup for Aberdeen to get him. He's still just 33, plenty of life in those legs yet, you would imagine, as Jensen picks up right-hand side. Good crossing opportunity to get a deflection, and Welsh able to get it clear. Jensen keeps it alive, back with Armstrong. Thought he might think about the shot there, certainly capable. Into Nisbet instead, was he fouled at the edge of the box. John Beaton again decides not. Kevin Nisbet furious with that decision as Longolo picks up possession left-hand side and plays it to Saeed, and now Charles Cook, who is taken down by Shinnie, and that's going to be, I think, the first yellow card of the game shown to the Aberdeen captain by John Beaton. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0, just 30 seconds left of the opening 45.
I think it's a needless yellow card, really, in an area of the pitch where he's not really going to hurt you. And we all know Graham Shinnie likes to fly into tackles and likes to break play up. He now is on a knife's edge. Anything mistimed, a second yellow, and he could be off.
Yeah, you'd have thought with his experience he would have just held back in that challenge. Didn't need to put it in. It's way over the far side, close to the touchline as well. But I don't think there's any doubt it was a yellow card. You know, he takes Charles Cook round about the ankles as well. Listen, he's that type of player, isn't he? He wants to show that energy, that determination. But at times, you've got to lead with the brain as well.
So a free kick to Motherwell deep in their own territory. We're into stoppage time. I didn't actually see the fourth official's board there to see how long is being added on, and the monitors I'm looking at doesn't have an indication of that either, so we'll carry on regardless. No, we won't, because there is a half-time whistle. That's why there was no board, there's no added on time. Well, it has been a good first half, despite the lack of goals, chances at either end. The first real one came Motherwell's way as Regan Charles Cook sent a cross in from the left-hand side. Mazonisi brought it under control and hit his effort off the upright, and then 3 minutes later, just after the half-hour mark, an Elliott Watt corner swung in, and Stephen O'Donnell met it with a head inside the 6-yard box. Looked for all the world like that was going to be the opening goal, but Adil Aushish had other ideas as he hooked the ball away, somehow preventing it crossing the line. At the other end, Aberdeen's best opening fell to Mats Knuster with 6 minutes of the half left. On the right foot, perhaps unfortunately for him. He made a decent connection all right from 6 yards out, as in a crowded penalty area, but crashed the ball off the underside of the bar, and it came down, as far as Aberdeen are concerned, on the wrong side of the line. And then just 3 minutes before the interval, another massive chance, you'd have to say, for Motherwell on the counter-attack, led by Stamatopoulos. He was in behind, away from Knuster, could have gone in and bowled down on goal himself. Instead, he squared it for Regan Charles Cook, who from about 8 yards, 10 yards maybe, went for goal, but out came Dimitar Mitos, spread himself well and blocked the effort to ensure the half-time scoreline at Pittodrie is Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
The Scottish League Cup.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland. Europa League football is back, and it's live on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. On Wednesday, Celtic visit Serbia to face Red Star Belgrade. On Thursday, Rangers host Belgian side Genk. Listen on Wednesday and Thursday at 6 on digital radio, or ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Scotland Extra.
It's actually a really busy midweek coming up right here on BBC Radio Scotland. On Tuesday night, 2 games in the Scottish top flight, both covered, of course, on Sports. And then, as the promotion said there, we have European action for you on Wednesday and on Thursday evening. So join us on these nights for extensive coverage. We have got Scottish League Cup quarter-final action for you today. The first of our commentary matches comes from Pittodrie. We just heard the half-time report there. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0. The second game kicks off at Ibrox, 5:45. Rangers at home to Hibs. Full commentary to come from that one. Some interesting reaction actually coming in from the debate we had earlier in the first hour of the programme. We had former referee Bobby Madden join us on the programme to talk about some of the interesting decisions that have been made over the past week, and Bobby gave us his strong opinions on that. We've had some fans getting in touch. We'll get to that probably a bit later in the programme. There is one game in the top flight this afternoon. That game is at Dens Park. It is Dundee up against Livingston. Let's get the half-time report from Brian McLaughlin.
Yes, Kenny, and it's Dundee who are on course for their first league win of the season. They lead by 1-0. The difference being a Simon Murray goal just 2 minutes from half-time. Lovely play down the right-hand side by certainly the man of the match so far, Cameron Congreve. Got the better of his opposition, number 3, Adam Montgomery. Cut the ball back along the 6-yard box, and there was Simon Murray close hand to knock the ball into the back of the empty net. Livingston started well. Robbie Muirhead with a couple of really good opportunities. In fact, after 8 minutes, he really should have scored down the right-hand side, cut the inside the box, tried to go for the near post when possibly going across goal would have been better. It was pushed aside by McCracken, and then again Muirhead, this time set up by Lewis Smith, goalkeeper at full stretch to push the ball away. Dundee came into the game, and it was Congreve and Wesley who set up a really good opportunity just before the half-hour mark. The goalkeeper on this occasion, Jerome Pryor, pushing the ball away to safety, and then Congreve from distance just over the crossbar. That was before, of course, that goal, 2 minutes from time, and that's given us a half-time score here. Simon Murray on target of Dundee 1, Livingston 0.
Thanks to Brian. Billy Dodds alongside me in the studio. Now, it's all very tight kite. It's early days, of course, but Brian flagged this up before kick-off today. Dundee could get a vital 3 points, and they're certainly on course. That would move them into the top 6. Currently, they sit 5th in the table. Now, the result of that is Rangers drop down to 11th in the table. It's all very congested, of course, in that sort of third place, down actually to bottom. Aberdeen, they've only played 4 games. They're bottom of the table as things stand. So just the one top flight game this afternoon. Bill, we've got that coming in to the studio. We know how important a player Simon Murray is for Dundee. It's been a real struggle for them so far. Stephen Presley's spoken about having to rebuild the squad. Do you see some signs that he's getting there?
Yeah, I do, and especially after the start he had and a lot of pressure piling on him even early in the season, which I thought was unfair, but going to Ibrox, getting a point, brought some confidence. You can see it's a very even game, both keepers and having a little bit to do, a couple of saves each, and then Simon Murray gets the nice tap in to put them in front. But you can see them growing with confidence as the season goes on, and this result is, you feel as if it's going to propel them a stage further, and I mean in confidence wise, Ken. I don't mean just up the league, because they're getting to 5th, which is incredible after the pressure it was on early doors. So sometimes it's small margins, and just a victory today would be a hell of a result for Dundee. And we talked about it, what it does to Rangers. It puts them second bottom.
Big second half coming up there at Dens Park. Brian will bring us all the news. 3 games in the Championship today, all at half-time. Airdrie 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Arbroath 0, Morton 0, and Ross County have equalised right to the stroke of half-time. They're Ross County 1, Queen's Park 1 in League 1. All half-time scores. Alloa Athletic 2, Cove Rangers 0, East Fife 1, Montrose 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 3, Kelty down to 10 men. Queen of the South 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1, Stenhousemuir 1, Peterhead 1 in League 2, Clyde 1, Edinburgh City 1, East Kilbride 1, Dumbarton 0, Forth Athletic 1, Annan Athletic 0, Spartans 0, Stirling Albion 2, and Stranraer 0, Elgin City 0. And down in England today there was the one lunchtime kick-off, the Liverpool derby. Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Half-time scores: Brighton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 1, Wolves 1, Leeds United 3. 5:30 start, Manchester United at home to Chelsea. 8 o'clock, Fulham are at home to Brentford. So let's get to our commentary game, the first of our commentary matches this afternoon. Before we get back to the guys at Pittodrie, Billy, your thoughts on that first half? So many clear-cut chances.
Yeah, an evenly fought game, but I mean the chances that have come up, 3 for Motherwell I would have to say, and 1 for Aberdeen, but for me there should have all been goals, whether it's been kicks off the line, whether it's been just a lacking a bit of composure. There have been brilliant chances, as the boys will probably tell us about, but there should have been goals in the game, but still 0-0 as it is, and it's getting to the stage half time where they'll both realise the opportunity there to get to Hampden, and there's going to be pressure more so on Aberdeen, Kenny.
Well, let's develop that. Willie Miller, we spoke before the game about what a big week it feels for Aberdeen Football Club. This quarter-final today, followed by 2 away games, Tuesday night at Tannadice, next Saturday at Fir Park. What have you made of that first half performance from the Dons, Willie?
Yeah, I think there's been enough opportunities created for us to have enjoyed a goal, Kenny, but we haven't had that enjoyment so far this afternoon. I think in terms of chances, Motherwell have had the better chances. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And the Stephen O'Donnell header in particular, he does so well, and he obviously uses all the experience, rises above the Aberdeen defence, and he's just looking to nod it into the back of the net. Now, how he manages to get it hooked off the line is quite incredible. I don't know about centre halves in front of goal. I think poor Max Canuster, it falls to his right foot. It's actually a good strike, from his right foot, but unfortunately maybe too good. It would have been better if it was a mishit. If he'd mishit it, it probably would have ended up.
I think I would even have scored that one, Willie.
I think so. It was incredible, the big centre back being up there, and that chance being afforded to him. But Motherwell have had the better chances, no doubt about that. I thought, from about kind of 15 minutes to the half hour, Aberdeen were beginning to take control of the game and had Motherwell pinned back, and Motherwell were struggling. But then you know, the final 15 minutes, Motherwell came into it big time. I think the Stephen O'Donnell header was on just about half an hour. And you know, the other two chances that they had as well, they're unfortunate that they hit the post. You know, with one of them that should have ended up in the back of the net is Dodgy. He's speaking from a centre-forward point of view, of course, and I can only speak from a centre-half point of view. But for me, good chances created, a little bit unlucky to see, you know, the crossbar thwarting one and the near post thwarting the other one. If we can get the same in the second half, I think we would be well pleased. Maybe some of the errors, there's been too many unforced errors, I would suggest, as well, from players that you would expect to, you know, be in a higher standard. But at the same time, an eventful game, an interesting game, a game that you can enjoy. You can sit back here, you can see some nice football being played. You can see both teams creating opportunities. Unfortunately, none of these opportunities have been taken.
Stephen Craigan, is that scoreline a fair reflection of what you've witnessed in that first half?
I think when you've had three really clear-cut chances, Kenny, you expect to be ahead. I'll take you back to the manager's press conference yesterday, Jens Bertholascu. He said we need more efficiency in the final third, which means the 18-yard box effectively. And they've had three gilt-edged opportunities where they should have scored and they haven't. So that will be irritating them a little bit, I would imagine. They only go so long that then the opposition are going to start getting opportunities, and if they are then a bit more clinical than you, then you're chasing a game that you probably should be ahead in. So many good things. The first 15-20 minutes, Aberdeen just pressed, and that's always going to happen when teams play against Motherwell, because they know that they want to overplay, they want to take risks around the box, so you want to try and nick it high. But once it's settled at 25-30 minutes and the spaces started to open up, Fadinger and Elliot Watt started getting more possession of the ball. Maswanisi get more touches. Regan Charge-Cook get more touches of the ball. Stamata Lopez has still been starved of any kind of decent service probably throughout most of the game. But when those players are in possession of the ball, Motherwell are a threat. So I'd imagine it'll be the similar kind of state at the start of the second half. Aberdeen will be re-energised from half-time. They'll go high, trying to nick something. But once it settles in, that's when Motherwell want to use that space and play those little 1-2s and play through. But they've had some good play, they've had some good opportunities. I just hope it doesn't go back to bite them, because when you're in a cup quarter final, sometimes it's not how well you play or the chances you get, it's how ruthless you are in both boxes. I said it ahead of the game, you'll be judged this afternoon on how ruthless you are in both boxes. Can you defend your own box well enough, and can you attack well enough in the final third? Motherwell have defended the box okay, but when the big chances have been presented to them, they haven't had that edge.
Yeah, speaking of big chances, Billy, we just saw a replay of the Regan Charles-Cook chance right in the stroke at half-time. Listen, he should have scored, but I don't think he did an awful lot wrong. The ball ran across, he's opened his body, took it with his left foot. It was a good save from Mitov, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got close to him, which narrowed the angle, made it difficult for him. I think he had to lift it. He kind of opened his body out in slow motion, and sometimes that kind of shows the goalkeeper where he's wanting to put it with that left foot.
Take me into that space, Billy. So you're in that position, so you're not getting a lot of thinking time.
Oh, Willie will back me up. I've missed plenty there.
Of course, but listen, everyone does. But what you think at that point? Are you just waiting to see the keeper do something and think, no, I'm putting this where I think it should be going? I
think with how close, when you get that much of a chance and it's 4 yards or 5 yards, you've got to do things quickly, and you've got to make a decision in your mind where if I just open up and roll it along the ground, he's spreading his body, there's a really good chance he's going to save it. I think there have been maybe just try to get that lifted quickly and try and just get it over him, because he knows that he's going to spread, his legs are going to be wide. To get it past him is really difficult from that situation.
Well, I think he had to lift it across him at all. No,
I think he'd have got it as well, Craigs, because it was both his legs. He went left and right, and I think anything on the ground with how close a proximity he was to him probably gets saved.
Willie, what about, listen, it'll be interesting later on, Willie, the second game, of course, the second commentary, 5:45 start at Ibrox, Rangers against Hibs. We know there's going to be a fan protest there. There's going to be a lot of empty seats, certainly in the home end. The chairman is there today. We'll wait and see what the atmosphere is like. And it's nowhere near the levels, obviously, at Pittodrie. But is it a bit of a restless feel among the home fans today?
No, I don't get that feeling. No, I think it's a decent atmosphere. I think the fans are enjoying what's in show. I think Aberdeen have played well enough. I do think that Motherwell have definitely had the better chances, but Aberdeen have looked pretty slick and sharp at times, particularly down the left-hand side. I think Carlson has done well, Guamfe too, really excellent going forward. So no, there isn't that feeling yet, Kenny, but there's special time, and don't worry, Kenny, you'll be the first to hear about it.
you know what gets me going, Willie, that's for sure. Love a bit of strife in the game. But you know what, I'm also enjoying this game. And see, I said this earlier on. See the 2 games last night, that game at Dermot Park in the Championship, the first of the quarter-finals down there at Rugby Park. Absolutely fantastic for Scottish football. So our second coverage of the day, that comes from Ibrox. 5:45 start, Rangers at home to Hibs. Brian will keep us updated on the league game in the top flight that's taking place today. Dundee 1-0 up at half-time on Livingston. But let's get back to that game at Pittodrie. Aberdeen up against Motherwell for a place in the semi-finals of the League Cup with Willie, Stephen and Al.
Thanks again, Kenny. Motherwell just about to get us back underway. No changes from either side by the looks of it at the interval. And we restart goalless, but hoping for as much excitement as there was in the first period, with some added goals just to spice it up. As the ball's rolled back to Callum Ward, who's allowed plenty of time to measure his options, plays it forward down the right hand side, flicked on by O'Donnell but out of play, and it'll be an Aberdeen throw-in down deep in their own territory. Haven't won in the last 4 games at Pittodrie. Aberdeen drawn 2 and lost 2. Only win this season came against Morton in this competition, 3-0 down at Capello. Motherwell also beat Morton 3-0 in the group stage of the League Cup, as Elliot Watt picks up midway inside his own half.
I'm just wondering, what's the thought process? Maybe Stephen knows a little bit more about it than me. When you have when you start play, the kick-off, and then at half-time as well, and you play it right back to the goalkeeper, and then nothing happens. Surely it's a chance of possession, a chance to put the opposition under pressure, but neither of the teams have put the opposition under pressure from the kick-off, and certainly at half-time as well.
It's an odd one, because all you're doing is bringing pressure on yourself. And Motherwell want to play through pressure, but play through it in the halfway line rather than from your goalkeeper. And it's the same with goal kicks. Stephen Welsh takes a goal kick and gives it to the goalkeeper. Surely Stephen Welsh is better in the ball than what the goalkeeper is. It's a theory I don't get, William. I'm sorry.
Forward ball looking for Mazwanise. John Beaton wags a finger as Mazwanise looked for a foul, because he was clattered into by Gyamfi. And I think the argument from John Beaton would be that they just banged into each other rather than either of them being culpable as such. But Mazwanise was certainly bearing down on goal, had he been able to latch onto the forward ball. And certainly that'll be checked by VAR. But forward come Motherwell again. Stamatolopoulos can't quite link with Charles Cook though. And Aberdeen can bring it forward now through Aushish. Aushish though on a different wavelength from Carlson. Let's go back to that off the ball instant there. Stephen, was anything in it for you?
It's a hard one to see in the first replay. Gyamfi's in a little bit of trouble, because he knows that Mazwanise is charging down over his left shoulder. Does he stand in as well? A little bit, he probably does. Does Mazwanise make the meal of it a little bit? Probably. So I understand the reason why the referee said just get up and get on with it, but it could easily went the other way.
Longolo charging forward but running the ball out of play. Willie, would you have any different opinion from Stephen on that one?
No, I couldn't have described it any better myself, and I thoroughly agree with that opinion. I think it was a bit of both players, I think, trying to get benefit from a situation, but certainly Gyamfi was not in a good position when that ball went over his head, so I think he came out on top as far as the decision was concerned.
Yeah, for sure. Aushish just knocks it out of play. Aberdeen have signed a lot of on the face of it, are good quality players over the course of this summer window. You do get a feeling it's just not quite clicking as a unit as yet. There's a lot of pulling the jersey there by, I think it was Aushish, and Motherwell will get the free kick just more or less in the halfway line. And certainly Jimmy Tillene will be hoping that they can become a bit more of a cohesive unit sooner rather than later. I think you were both mentioning pre-match about the amount of new signings there is. There are only 4 of them in this starting 11 for Aberdeen. Still, it feels a little bit disjointed at times.
Still quite a lot though. 4 out of 11. Yeah. want to work out the maths in that one.
Well, I think when you look at Motherwell, Motherwell probably have about 7, yet they look a little bit more fluent than what Aberdeen are. So whether that's through the coaching skills or whether that's through the game plan, I don't know, but they just look a little bit more rhythmic than what Aberdeen are.
No, I'd agree with that. I think that's where Jimmy Tulane is struggling a little bit. You know, not in any way making it an excuse, but you know, when you've got new players coming in, it can at times, of course, at times it doesn't take time for them to settle in, but it can at times, and Aberdeen are struggling because, you know, it is taking them a little bit of time to settle in.
0-0 here, 5 minutes into the second period. Keskinen's offside, the assistant raising his flag early. Normally they're asked to just delay that flag and allow the attack to continue, but he's obviously confident enough that Keskinen, and it did look to be a yard or so offside, so the flag went up early on that occasion. Motherwell have taken the free kick and it's out to the right hand side to Said. Now it's Mazwanisi back into Said. Shinnie sticks a toe in. He's one who's got to be particularly careful because he's on a yellow card. Mazwanisi once more into Said, right hand side for Motherwell. Back to the halfway line to O'Donnell, and back in field to the skipper Liam Gordon, just inside his own half. Plays it forward to Charles Cook, who's come in off that left hand side a few times. Now there's a chance here for Fanninger to get it out to the left hand side to Longolo. There's another body going down off the ball for Motherwell. Longolo continues, so he's got by his man and then flashes it across goal. Not sure anyone got a touch on that. Yeah, maybe the keeper did. It's just been given as a goal kick in the end, but Longolo, certainly when he gets forward, looks dangerous on that left hand side.
He does, yeah. Mitov misses it as well, but it's just one of these ones that's rattled across the face of the goal. It's too high for anybody to get in the end of it. Not that Motherwell had players looking to get in the end of it, but he takes on Jensen. He goes past Jensen with ease, so that's an issue. That is definitely a problem for you know, the Aberdeen right back. For me, I'm looking at Longolo and I'm thinking he's going to go down with his left foot, he's going to take it on the outside, so get yourself protected on the outside, and he doesn't. He actually sells himself, Jensen. He does that on too many occasions. I think he's a better player going forward than defensively.
Here's Charles Cook in a deep area centrally, checks back, still inside his own half, plays it to Gordon and out to O'Donnell. Right hand side, back to Gordon again. To come back to the edge of his own penalty area to collect the pass, which was slightly astray from O'Donnell. She's just preparing to pounce, but goes back to Callum Ward, and then he knocks it up long towards Mazwanisi, brings it under control, and he's barged to the ground by Gyamfi, and the free kick goes Motherwell's way. Taken down that right hand side by Watt for Charles Cook, who's gone across to the other flank altogether now. He goes down under the challenge of Gyamfi, nothing given against the Aberdeen fullback that time. In fact, he knocks it off Charles Cook and wins his side to throw it midway inside his own half, right in front of the Motherwell fans across there. They made their way up the road in good numbers, and despite what you were saying earlier, Willie, I mean, it's a pretty decent turnout from the home fans as well. I think you were expecting maybe a bit fewer, but they're still backing the team, backing the manager for the most part, it seems.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the crowd is, but it looks better than 12,000.
Yeah.
I would say that's for sure. But that's just information I was getting from the inner bells of the stadium.
He's played forward looking for Stamatolopoulos, couldn't bring it under control, under pressure from Knuster. Should have probably done better though on that occasion. The striker played forward for Nisbet. It was brilliant control on the touchline, and then he rather undoes his good work by giving possession away, and then Fanninger runs across him, buys the foul, and it'll be a Motherwell free kick just inside their own half. 8 minutes played. This second half hasn't really caught life as yet. Still 0-0, 1-0 at Dens between Dundee and Livy, with Simon Murray on the score sheet for the home side. Longolo nods that down the left for Charles Cook. He takes a nudge in the back there from Dorrington. I mean, it's both of you played centre back, so you know this a lot better than me, but to me that's such a daft foul. He's not really going anywhere, and now they've got to defend a free kick in a pretty dangerous position.
I think we'd have to agree with you there.
Yeah, I would. I have to say though, he does go down very easily.
Yeah.
Whether it's a shove or whether he has his hand in his back, the minute he puts his hand in his back and the forward falls forward, he's always going to get a free kick. Whether it's a push or whether he's just kind of trying to get a bit of balance.
I don't know why you have to put your hand in the back of an opponent when he's going out towards the touchline, and now you've given away a free kick that could be dangerous.
Yeah, could well be. It's Watt and Longolo over it from the left-hand side, just a few yards in from the touchline, 20 yards from goal. Swung in by Watt. It's a dangerous ball. It's a chance at the back post for Welsh, and he knocks it back across goal rather than towards goal. The flag's going up in any case against on loan Celtic defender, but it was a good delivery, and well, Aberdeen and particularly Alfie Dorrington breathing a sigh of relief that didn't come to anything.
We're seeing the best of centre backs trying to put the ball in the back of the net this afternoon, aren't we? I mean, it should end up in the back of the net. I think it is. I think he is offside, but he throws his right foot at it. It seems to come off his ankle and cross the face of the goal.
There's Welsh at the back now, stretching to get that clear. Plays it to Gordon, who knocks it back to Ward, who thumps it upfield. Stamatolopoulos beaten to it by Dorrington, who was caught there as he played it forward. Carlson could be in here, left-hand side up against O'Donnell. He's got Aushish on the overlap, cross goal, it comes Welsh, a good clearance. Again, the offside flag goes up anyway, after Welsh had made a good clearance. Graham Shinney, I think, is arguing with John Beaton about the lack of a yellow card being shown for the challenge on Dorrington on the halfway line as he played the ball forward. Let's get across the Dens Park, see what's happening in the second period there. Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, 10 minutes gone here in the second period. Still Dundee 1, Livingston 0. Simon Murray after 43 minutes, but Dundee obviously now taking confidence from that goal. Congreve in particular has been superb this afternoon. His cross into the box just cleared away, and then Finn Robertson with an effort from around 20 yards on the angle just wide of goal. Still Dundee 1, Livingston 0.
Thanks, Brian. And Motherwell in possession here. It's 0-0 after 11 minutes of the second period. A little bit scrappy in the second period as Knauster puts his goalkeeper in a bit of bother there, and he sliced it behind for a corner kick, and the Motherwell fans over on the far side, they got their tails up certainly. A little unforced error again from the Aberdeen backline. I'm not sure how long Jimmy Talim will wait to go to his bench. I see a little bit of activity actually already. Could be looking at making some changes because his side haven't got going in the second half. Motherwell then with a corner from the right hand side, lining up this time along the edge of the penalty area. Maybe a slightly different tactic coming. We've had a couple of different varieties from the corners so far. This one looks like it's going to be a potential outswinger from the right hand side from Elliot Watt. Mazwanisi is there as a potential short option again. Comes and offers himself, but Elliot Watt waves him away and swings it towards the near post. Aberdeen deal with it. Armstrong gets it clear. Longolo will return it though. Mazwanisi leaves it to Watt once more. Right hand side, swings it back into the area. Knauster gets it clear. Comes to Charles Cook. I thought that might have come off an arm. No real claims though, as Motherwell's shot is charged down. Now it's Fanninger back to Charles Cook. Fanninger again, left hand side, looks up. Can he find a teammate at the back post? Mazwanisi was trying to get there, couldn't do so, and it's gone out for a throw-in over on the far side, and it's still Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
Yeah, the second half hasn't really came to life. I think you've mentioned it a couple of times, Alan. I think the longer it goes, the more nervous both teams are going to become, because they know then one error potentially could cost you the tie. So for the team in the ascendancy, whoever it is, if you can get that first goal, it gives you a huge boost.
Yeah, first goal might do it actually, given the way these sides have been going. Certainly Motherwell are managed, well, they've got 7 in the league to be fair, in 5 games. Aberdeen with 0 after 4, or 3 goals in the League Cup. Something of an anomaly for them at this stage of the season, as the Motherwell throw-in is taken on the right hand side by O'Donnell and quickly helped on by Fanninger to Longolo. Swings a good looking ball in. Stamatolopoulos just needed to get a slight touch on that. It was a brilliant ball in from Longolo. you'd have to say he got his angle absolutely right, but Stamatopoulos just couldn't get the touch he was requiring as Aberdeen prepared to make a couple of changes here with the scoreline. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0.
I don't understand why Stamatopoulos doesn't go with his head. He tries to stretch his right foot out. It's a delightful cross in from long goal. When he got the ball, my initial thought was, what are you doing trying to cross it from here? But he makes a really good bit of movement, does Apostolus Stamatopoulos. And once he gets it, throw your head out. Just all it needs is the slightest touch or glance. Mitov was stranded. He didn't know where it was going to go, and it ends up going out for a goal kick. But Motherwell once again looking a little bit more dangerous, but that final touch, that final pass, that final connection just isn't there.
He's in two minds, isn't he, Mitov? You know, he goes and then he stops and he thinks, yeah, go back on the line. Big opportunities. Aberdeen ring the changes. Certainly two Al changes. Graham Shinney's been invited. I think he's getting a little bit close to getting that second yellow, Graham Shinney, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was him.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah, Leighton Clarkson's coming on for him. I think we're going to make another enforced change because Gyamfi is limping off on the far side, so it's going to be a triple change actually, as Leighton Clarkson, Antti Palaversa, and I think Nicky Devlin come on for the Dons, with Shinney making way, and as well as Gyamfi, who I mentioned, went down, and the other player, Stuart Armstrong has gone off on his first start. You can understand that he's maybe not able to play the full 90, and after an hour he makes way as well. So Aberdeen with a triple change as they try to get this game to swing in their favour. They've got a goal kick here to be taken by Dimitar Mitov. 0-0 it stands on the hour mark. Long from Mitov, 1-0 by Welsh ahead of Nisbet, who hasn't had any real influence in this game. It's a good challenge by Dorrington. Stamatopoulos felt it was an unfair one, but it looked just a solid one as Aushish picks up. Helped on here on the left-hand side. It's Devlin into the box, plays for a handball from Aberdeen this time. Nothing given. Clarkson picks up on the edge of the box. Good footwork, pulls it to Aushish. Back the way to Palaversa, who swipes it well off target. There will be a check there for a handball. Certainly big claims from both the players and the fans round about us. Willie Miller, your take?
I think I would need a replay to see it, to be perfectly honest. It was blasted, and it actually deflected, was it? It was a good challenge, I felt, from Liam Gordon, and I'm not sure whose hand it hits, but it goes towards the torso. They've checked it anyway, and play continues, so nothing given.
I wasn't sure if it came off his shoulder blade potentially, Al. The ball just shot up. I think it was Stephen Welsh, was it? Cleared it with his right foot, just fizzed in. It was either Elliot Watt or if I think they're so hard to tell apart when things happen so quickly. But yeah, the play's resumed.
Yeah, it has. So any check was done very quickly and dismissed. So it's still 0-0 as extra time begins to loom large. Well, Kevin Nisbet,
I don't know how that can be given.
That's a bit of a nonsense, because Kevin Nisbet, you could argue basically what John Beaton's decided is he was stopping the free kick being taken quickly, but then he's standing right next to the ball. It looks like he was maybe slightly hurt, I'm not sure, but
do you know what?
It was blasted off him.
He steps in front of the ball.
Do you think
I think he does. He actually makes it. He's standing beside the ball and then steps in front of it and starts pulling the sock up, and I think Elliot Waters witnessed that.
Mazonisi's done well, steps away from one challenge at the edge of the box. 11,500 inside Pittodrie. Looked to be more than that, but anyway, here's the chance. Goal! Regan Charles Cook with an absolute beauty from the edge of the box, outside of the right foot, curling away from Dimitar Mitov, and then off the inside of the post. That is a cracker from Charles Cook. It's Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1.
Well, I think if you base the game on chances created and clear-cut chances created, then Motherwell deserve to be ahead. I think they've looked the most likely throughout the game. They haven't always been dominant in the game, but in the final third, they've looked a little bit sharper. That final touch has been missing, that final finish. And Regan Charles Cook, he actually cuts across the ball. Initially, when he done, I thought it was going to drift past the post, but for somehow it just seems to catch the inside of the post, slides along the back of the net, and the Motherwell fans on the far side have went absolutely crazy. I think they've deserved it. I think they've aged it slightly, and now they find themselves 1-0 up.
I think in chances, I don't think there's any doubt about that they deserve it. I think from an Aberdeen point of view, they've got to close that down much quicker. it's actually the perfect hit with the outside his right foot, isn't it? Because it's sliding away from Dimitar Mitov. He's no chance of getting anywhere near it, and it just flips at the inside of the post. It actually ricochets off the inside of the post and goes behind Mitov. So, yeah, on chances, no doubt, Motherwell deserve to be in the league.
And that they are. Regan Charles-Cook more than making up for his first half miss. And what was a far easier opportunity, but he caught that absolutely beautifully, as the guys describe. It was always moving away from Mitov and couldn't have been any more accurate in off the far post to give Motherwell the advantage, and they've got a free kick over on the far side. We've played 90 minutes of the second period. It's the visitors who lead.
I think it's a big 5 or 6 minutes for Aberdeen. Well, they can't afford to fall out of the game. They can't be sloppy. These home supporters are waiting to go if the performance doesn't improve.
Yeah, and until he's just made the changes, particularly to the midfield area. There, you know, you think Shinnie maybe more defensive-minded, might have put a little bit more pressure on Charles Cook before he hits the strike. So it's huge. And they're under pressure. They know they're under pressure. They're a team that's been put together. You know, 3 players in the last day of the transfer window as well. And it's showing, but what they have to do now is show character and get themselves back into the game. They have to, the body language has got to be better. It hasn't been good in the second half. I don't think either side really have looked up for it in the second half. But with Motherwell getting that break, then I'll tell you what, the Aberdeen players have got to show more courage than what they have shown since the start of the second half.
They've got 25 minutes to find at least an equaliser and take the game to extra time. Goals have been tough to come by for the Dons, but they've got to find at least one this afternoon, or else they are facing an exit from the League Cup. Remember, we've got live commentary from Ibrox of this afternoon's second quarter-final between Rangers and Hibs. Another massively intriguing one, you would have to say, for all sorts of reasons. But here, this one has been also really enthralling. And it's Motherwell who are edging it right now, leading by a goal to nil. Scored a couple of minutes ago by Regan Charles-Cook, his first for his new side. There's been another goal at Dens. Let's cross to Brian McLaughlin.
And a second goal for Dundee. This time it was Joe Wesley on target. Very similar to the first goal. Excellent play down the right-hand side. Congreve involved once again. The ball played across the 6-yard box. And this time it was Joe Wesley on hand to tap the ball home. Dundee 2, Livingston 0.
Thanks, Brian. Aberdeen trailing by a goal to nil here and trying to get back into the contest, but that's been given away rather cheaply to Motherwell in the middle of the park. Great footwork by Saeed. Out to the right-hand side he goes. Devlin can't make the interception. Forward come Motherwell, who played some really nice football at times this afternoon. Are they going to get the victory that they haven't quite managed to get in the league? Certainly unbeaten in their 10 matches so far this season. It's pretty impressive stuff, but they need to turn the draws into victories to make it properly meaningful. They lead by a goal to nil this afternoon at Pittodrie. They've lost in their last 3 visits here, including a 4-1 the last time they were here, but there's been no sign of that this afternoon as Gordon feeds it forward. Clarkson though cuts it out, and it's picked up by Carlson, left-hand side, up in towards Aushish, left-hand side of the box. He's lost out though. Clarkson tries to win it back, but Saeed tries to come forward. Now Aberdeen have it back once more. Clarkson infield to his fellow substitute Antti Palaversa in the centre circle. Out to the right-hand side to Jensen. Jensen back to Palaversa. The Croatian back to Jensen once more on the right-hand side. He'll go back to Dorrington, and now the crowd begin to get on Aberdeen's back because they're going back the way, but it's just in an attempt to try and manufacture an opportunity. Devlin quickly closed down there by Mazonisi, and it'll be an Aberdeen throw-in. But that's really when the big characters in that Aberdeen team have to come to the fore, as Aushish tries to play it across goal straight into the arms of Callum Ward. When the fans are getting on your back, when you're trailing by a goal to nil, that's when you need your leaders standing up.
And when the opposition are just keeping the ball and passing it around about you, and I don't think you know, the Aberdeen team are kind of know what they're supposed to be doing out there. Is it high press? Is it you know, do they go back? Do they allow Motherwell to have possession at the back? I don't think that they can allow that. I think they've got to push right up and top. They might leave themselves a little bit exposed at the back, and Motherwell might take advantage of that, but I don't think there's any option for them, and it's just the way I thought the game would go. If Motherwell got themselves in front, the Aberdeen fans would start to turn a little bit, and then it's down to the players whether they've got the character to handle it.
Well, it's a big test of that as the rain begins to fall at Pittodrie. Longolo fires it down the left-hand side. Charles Cook, the goal scorer, won't catch that one. 69 played, Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1. Have Aberdeen got what it takes to get themselves back into this game? Otherwise, Jimmy Tilleen will be facing further questions about how his side have been performing so far this season. That Scottish Cup victory seems a long time ago, as Jensen tries to bring the ball under control on the right-hand side, does so well. Goes back to Palaversa, midway inside the Motherwell half, faced up by Watt, infield to Nisbet. He tries to help on for Jensen. Good covering though by Fadinger, and he's just caught by Jensen. And it will be a free kick to Motherwell on the edge of their own penalty area. And let's cross back to Kenny McIntyre in the studio, just bringing us up to date with the scores around Scotland.
In the Premiership, Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1 in the League Cup. In the Premiership, it's a 2-0 scoreline for the home side, Dundee against Livingston. They're fantastic for Stephen Pressley. 3 games in the Championship: Airdrie 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Arbroath 1, Morton 0, Ross County 1, Queen's Park 1, County down to 10 men. In League 1, Al Athletic 2, Cove Rangers 1, East Fife 1, Montrose 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 4, Queen of the South 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1, Stenhousemuir 3, Peterhead 1. In League 2, Clyde 1, Edinburgh City 1, East Kilbride 1, Dumbarton 1, Forfar Athletic 1, Annan Athletic 0, Spartans 0, Stirling Albion 3, Stranraer 1, Elgin City 0.
Thanks, Kenny. Those boos, incidentally, you heard, they weren't for you, Kenny, don't worry. As Aberdeen pick up at the back through Dorrington. Knuster now for Clarkson. Clarkson up towards the halfway line. Plays it into Carlson. Devlin, that's a terrible pass from Devlin. Fadinger picks up. He can't find Saeed though. Well, he really should have, because Saeed just seemed to let the ball run past him. Aberdeen have it back. Clarkson spreads it out to the right-hand side. 1-0 Motherwell leads here with 20 to play. Palaversa for Jensen, right-hand side, closed down by Stamatolopoulos. Aberdeen going to make another couple of changes imminently as Charles Cook picks up for Motherwell. Sliding challenge comes in from Keskinen. That's more like it. And then Fadinger will go into the referee's book for a crude challenge on Jensen, and that will allow Aberdeen to make these 2 changes with Marko Lazetic and Dante Polvara about to enter the fray. There's another yellow card there for Longolo. Not quite sure what was going on. I was looking at the team sheet there, but Longolo goes into the book, as does Lucas Fadinger for his challenge. As off comes Adil Sheesh, with Polvara entering the fray, and Topi Keskinen replaced by Marko Lazetic. You seen much of Lazetic so far, Willie? I haven't, I have to admit.
Yeah, I have. You know, he played bit parts coming on in games. Had a great effort against Livingston. You maybe seen that in the box where he's turned inside the box and he's rattled it against the post. So he's got that striker's instinct, I would suggest. He will play right up top. And listen, it's very early. And he's a youngster. I'm sure he's very young, maybe 19, 20. I'm not.
21 years.
21. So he's a bit of a project, but he seems to have an instinct to get in the right place at the right time. It hasn't, came off from him just yet, but so close against Livingston.
Yeah, he is playing right through the middle. Nisbet maybe just dropping slightly deeper, but Aberdeen need to commit bodies forward at this stage in search of an equaliser at the very least, as the fans try to get behind them. They haven't given up, and nor can the players. Just 1 goal in it, scored by Regan Charles Cook on 63 minutes.
I think the problem for Motherwell now, Al, is they're so deep in the game because Aberdeen are forcing on, but when the ball turns over, you've got to make your first pass. Too often they've won the ball back and give it away and allowed Aberdeen to keep coming.
From the left-hand side, it's Knuster into the penalty area, knocked away by Longolo, picked up by Clarkson. Falls for Palaversa. Back now to Dorrington. It's going to be a Motherwell change shortly as Oscar Priestman prepares to come on as Carlson knocks it back to Clarkson. And out to the right-hand side for Jensen. Jensen, can he get the cross in? He can. It's a decent one, but Callum Ward comes off his line. 8 yards from goal, takes that and relieves the pressure on his back line. 73.5 played. It's still Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1.
It's got to be better than that, though, Al, for Jensen. He's not under any pressure that I could see, and he's put it way too near the goalkeeper, and it looks like an easy take for him. There's plenty of power behind it, absolutely. But you've got to be better. You've got to find a strike. You've got to be looking for a body in the box. That's
good play from Stamatopoulos just inside the Aberdeen half. Tries to force it forward, and that doesn't come off. So Aberdeen pick up once more. There's going to be a couple of changes actually for Motherwell. Asapa Osong is also stripped on the touchline. So Motherwell planning changes. They look to solidify their advantage. We'll cross to Danes Park again for another update from Brian McLaughlin just in a moment or two as Aberdeen try and come forward looking for a leveller. It's Polvara, one of the 5 Aberdeen subs that have come on, drives into the middle of the park and then knocks it back to Dorrington. Now it's Palaversa out to the right hand side for Carlson who's switched flanks now on this right hand side looking for an option. Plays it short to Palaversa. He tries to flick it on. Did that come off the arm of Longolo? Well, the free kick's going to go actually Motherwell's way. Polvara adjudged to have fouled Charles Cook. I have a bit of sympathy. It did seem to come off the arm of Longolo, but nothing was given, and it will be a Motherwell free kick. Time to cross back to Dens, and let's hear about it from Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, Livingston are back in the game, and they now trail by 2 goals to 1. 15 minutes left to play. It was an own goal from Clark Robertson. The ball played across the 6-yard box. Clark Robertson was facing his own goal. The ball came off his shin, beyond the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Game on here at Dens. Livingston 2, Dundee 1.
Thanks again, Brian.
Dundee 2, Livingston 1.
Cheers, Brian. So Motherwell making that double change. Fanninger is going to be replaced by Priestman in the middle of the park, and Osong looks like he's going to come on for the goal scorer, Regan Charles Cook, who, as things stand, has had the decisive moment in the game. So Motherwell looking to just see this out. Quarter of an hour remaining. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1 in the League Cup quarter final. You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Stick with us. We've got Rangers Hibs to follow this one, but still could be at least quarter of an hour, maybe another half an hour if Aberdeen can peg them back. As Knister picks up at the back for the Dons. They need to find a bit of inspiration from somewhere. Here's Jensen in an advanced position on the right-hand side once more. Swings it in. It's a deep ball. O'Donnell taking no chances. Knocks it behind for a corner.
Again, I think he should do better. Listen, it works out fine for him because he gets the corner, but Jensen too near the goalkeeper. I think that Callum Ward should have done a little bit better on that occasion, but they won a corner from it, so he'll be thinking that it's a positive cross, but for me it should be much better.
Well, let's see what they can do from it from the left-hand side. As Carlson curls it in near post. Really poor delivery and easily headed away there at the near post by Mazonisi, out for a throw over on the far side. But they've got to do better with these, Willie, surely.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've been saying that all season, and it hasn't changed this afternoon. And all his corners have been like that. It looks as though he's trying to pin someone or pick someone out at the near post, but it hasn't come off as yet, and I would suggest that was a poor delivery.
Here comes Clarkson now into the box, right to the byline, takes a deflection, behind for another corner. Clarkson's provided a bit of drive and positivity since coming on, certainly, and I think he'll go across and take this corner. Well, we know he's got good delivery. Let's see if he can show it here as Aberdeen look for an equalising goal. 77, almost 78 on the clock as Clarkson from the left curls it in near post. A good ball. Ward punches half clear. Carlson overhead kick. Dorrington's there. Was he offside? Yeah, he was. The flag's gone up. and the pressure on the Motherwell backline is relieved once more. That was certainly a better ball into the box, but Motherwell survive, and it remains Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1, 12 to play.
Yeah, I think Aberdeen just needed a little bit more conviction, a little bit more penetration in their play, a bit more urgency, and I think the likes of Leighton Clarkson's done that. Palaversa's trying to force the ball a little bit more. The onus is on them. They have to chase the game. It's up to Motherwell to pick the right passes then when they turn possession over.
It's going to be throw-in over on the far side to Aberdeen, taken back the way to Knuster. Stamatolopoulos is dropped just a little bit deeper with the introduction there of Osong. As Aberdeen try and work the ball forward, but O'Donnell steps in and feeds it to Mazonisi, right hand side. Steps away there from Rakitic. And Osong now out to the left hand side. Said picks up. Longolo's with him. Here is Longolo, about 10 yards from the byline, left hand side. Just brings the ball back the way to Priestman, one of the substitutes. Now Welsh, Priestman once more. Motherwell going back the way, but that's okay as far as they're concerned, as long as they keep possession. They lead by a goal to nil with just over 10 minutes left in this League Cup quarter-final. Stamatolopoulos over on the right-hand side. Knuster steps across him and wins possession. Tries to dig out the clearance. Out of play though for a Motherwell throw-in. Deep in Aberdeen territory on the right-hand side as Motherwell attack. Stephen O'Donnell can certainly launch these long throw-ins, and it looks like that's what he's going to try and do right here. Motherwell not committing everyone forward. In fact, he's gone short because Elliot Watt's gone and offered himself. Back to O'Donnell, pokes it through the legs there of Polvara, and then it's taken away from him by Devlin, and it's come off a Motherwell body and out for an Aberdeen throw-in. 10 to play. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1. Aberdeen staring at a League Cup exit at the quarter-final stage unless they can find a goal here in these closing 10 minutes. It's Dorrington bringing it forward. On you go, Willie.
There's no doubt that they're going to see a lot of possession. It's what they do with that possession. I think Leighton Clarkson is definitely one that can open up a defence with his vision and the quality of his forward passing. Palaversa's got a pretty good strike on him as well from outside the box. Polvara likes to get in the box too, so there's plenty of options there for Aberdeen, but do they have the quality to break down Motherwell, and can they make sure that they keep the door closed at the back?
It's good play again from Longolo. They couldn't link with either Said or Osong. Aberdeen pick up in the middle of the park. Clarkson looks to clip it over the top. Polvara will chase that, but O'Donnell easily first to it, and he just hooks it over his shoulder and well over the halfway line as Mazwanisi tries to bring it under control. Couldn't do so, and it goes all the way through to Dimitar Mitov in the Aberdeen goal, and he quickly gets it moving. Aberdeen need a goal in the next 9 minutes, otherwise they're out of the cup, and Motherwell are through to another visit to Hampden, having lost at the semi-final stage last season. Let's get back to Brian McLaughlin. It was 2-1 last we heard for Dundee. Brian?
Yeah, 9 minutes left, Alan. It's still Dundee 2, Livingston 1, but Livingston throwing the kitchen sink at everything now to try and get something out of the game. But having said that, here's a chance for Dundee. What a tackle that was by Danny Wilson at the heart of the Livingston defence here to save what looked like a certain goal. But Livingston have made all the changes. They've brought on the likes of Stevie May to push forward. Lewis Smith being a real threat to the Dundee defence. 8 minutes left to get back into the game. It's still Dundee 2, Livingston 1.
A similar story here in terms of the deficit. It's the home side who trail here though. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1, with also 8 minutes left of the 90. Difference here is that if Aberdeen could get a goal, it would force an extra half an hour with Knuster in possession and back to Clarkson on the halfway line. Aberdeen, as Stephen was suggesting, having a lot of the ball. Can they provide a bit of quality? It comes out to Jensen, a good bit of control. Can he get the ball into the penalty area? Instead he rolls it back to Palaversa. He swings it in, away by Watt. The good thing about Farringer going off is that there's no other doppelgangers of Elliot Watt on the field of play. Here's Osong bringing it forward, trying to get away from Dorrington. Back comes Jensen to help him out, and Jensen's done well to win possession and now finds Nisbet. He looks to lift it over the top for Lazetic. Back goes Gordon, watches it all the way, heads it to his right, and O'Donnell completes the clearance. In fact, it might almost work out better than a clearance, but Mazwanisi can't quite latch onto it. But that was good defending from Gordon, I'm sure. The two men to my left appreciated that as he kept his eye on the ball and got the danger clear. Here's Polvara, left-hand side for Aberdeen, into Lazetic. Can't link initially, but it falls kindly for Polvara into the penalty area, left-hand side. Priestman with him, but he's overrun it, and it's behind for a goal kick. And Aberdeen need to be better than that in these closing stages. 7 to play, Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1.
It's just that quality again, isn't it? You know, Polvara on that occasion, you know, should have done it much better with a touch, a really heavy touch, and a good situation. I believe we've got another goal, Al, as well elsewhere.
Yes, indeed. Brian McLaughlin can tell us who's got it.
We've got an equaliser here for Livingston. It came from the penalty spot. Lewis Smith brought down by Clark Robertson, who's having a day to forget at the heart of the Dundee defence. And upstep the substitute Bakia and hammered the ball beyond the Dundee goalkeeper John McCracken. It's all square here at Dens Park. Dundee 2, Livingston 2.
Just where it looked like Stephen Presley and Dundee were going to get their first league win of the season. Livy have pegged them back from 2 down. Here it's Motherwell leading with 6 minutes to play, 1-0. As John Katrumbis waits to come on. Again, Motherwell keeping their composure at the back, playing round Aberdeen, and now they come forward. It's O'Donnell into a song and out to the right-hand side for Mazwanisi. Mazwanisi left side to the box. Stamatolopoulos! Just wide. Well, quite well wide in the end, actually. Really should have hit the target. It's a brilliant ball in from Mazwanisi, and he glanced it beyond the keeper, but actually it drifts a good few yards wide of target, and Stamatolopoulos could have really buried Aberdeen there. 1-0 it remains.
Well, that was the big chance, wasn't it? That's the goal, or the opportunity, sorry, to put the game to bed. That comes from Aberdeen pressing, but they're so disjointed. There's no shape. We've no idea what they're playing, so nobody knows who to press or how to press or when they're going to press. Motherwell just play through them. One ball down the side, and Stamatolopoulos really should have put the ball in the back of the net. Aberdeen have a lifeline.
Absolutely, and you're right about the shape. I mean, they're playing with 4 strikers now, just 4 bodies through the middle.
Jensen into the box. Brilliant clearance by Stephen Welsh. Put his body on the line there as Carlson put him under severe pressure. Still Katrumbis waits. The referee though just asking for a pause here before this throw-in's taken. I'm not entirely sure. And maybe just checking that Stephen Welsh didn't need any treatment. He did seem to be holding his head momentarily, but play resumes now as Aberdeen pick up through Knuster. We've got under 5 minutes left of the 90s. Mazwanisi was halted in his attempts to come forward there, but I think the ball had gone out of play, and it'll be an Aberdeen throw in midway inside the Motherwell half, left-hand side. Clarkson now has it, 15 yards inside the Motherwell half. Now it's Knuster once more, left flank. Devlin picks up, he's well forward. Polvara still left of centre, comes into the middle now with Palaversa. He brings it out to the right flank. It's Jensen, tries to feed it in on his left foot. Longolo, who's had a terrific game, cuts that one out, and it's an Aberdeen throw-in.
You feel at times you can have too many people playing in the box. You know, they all get in each other's road. It's a case of who's actually going to make the tell and run, and that's what Aberdeen are just at the moment. They're so desperate to get the goal back that they're just, you know, flooding the box with 4 players, all in the line as well. None of them dropping off, none of them making a run forward to disrupt the Motherwell defence as well. So it's all a bit frantic.
3.5 to play. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1. Motherwell on the brink of clinching their place alongside St Mirren in the League Cup semis. We've got Rangers Hibs to come later today, then Partick Thistle Celtic tomorrow. Live coverage of that one as well, as Aberdeen try to keep themselves in contention for that semi-final spot by grabbing an equaliser here. Motherwell knocked the ball out of play over on the far side. Aberdeen throw-in midway inside the Motherwell half. Time running out for the Dons. It's Clarkson in possession on the left-hand side. He just plays it short to Knuster. Go back in field to Leighton Clarkson. Now it's Devlin, well advanced once more from left back into Polvara. He goes back the way to Knuster. Knuster from the left flank swings it in. Longolo. Well, he just knocks that behind. I think he was waiting for a shout. I'm not sure he got one from Callum Ward. And he didn't want to take any chances, and Aberdeen get the corner kick on this right-hand side.
He should have got the shout if he didn't, because that was quite an easy take. for the left back. Could take that down in his chest pretty easily and cleared the danger. Puts it out for a corner, gives Aberdeen an opportunity.
It certainly does. Let's see if he's made to pay for that. A couple of minutes to play. It's Carlson from the right hand side for Aberdeen, desperately in need of a goal now. Carlson swings it out the way. Glasgow is off the bar, so close. Nicky Devlin thinking at the near post. Clarkson returns it into the danger area. Up comes Ward and clutches that one. But Aberdeen cannot believe their luck as for the second time in the game they hit the underside of the bar. The ball's thrown out of play with a Stephen Welsh grounded here. Well, they're not going to come much closer than that to an equaliser, will it?
It's a great effort from Nicky Devlin, isn't it? I mean, he's way beyond that near post. He's almost out at the 6-yard line. It comes off the byline, and he manages to flick it over the top of Ward, and it clips underside of the bar as well and goes out the other side. So unlucky. It was well worked. If that's what we're trying to do, he did make the run pretty positively to the near post. I believe it was a well worked opportunity, and really unlucky to see it come off the underside of the bar and not end up in the back of the net.
Kofi Balmer is going to come on for the final few seconds here in place of Stephen Welsh, who's put himself in harm's way on a number of occasions, and Kutrumbis also coming on for Said for these well, we are into the 90th minute. There will be added on time. Aberdeen in sportsmanlike fashion play the ball back to Motherwell, but immediately then put them under pressure as it goes back from Balmer to Ward, who clears it up towards the halfway line. Aberdeen pick up. All eyes now on the fourth official to see how much will be added on at the end. We've got 30 seconds left of the 90 minutes. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1. 2-2 between Dundee and Livingston at Dens in the Premiership as Polvara has it. Now it's Clarkson. Midway inside the Motherwell half, out to the right hand side for Jensen. Jensen up against Longolo, just rolls it back to Palaversa. Dorrington's a bit close to him. Don's fans not at all happy. They're going back the way and they need to go forward. It's Clarkson now. Can he make something happen? Palaversa once more. Sends it in towards the back post. O'Donnell gets the header clear. Picked up by Clarkson. 4 minutes added on. Devlin into the 6-yard box. Ward doesn't get a clean punch. He punched it behind. It could have gone absolutely anywhere. Aberdeen get the corner, but Ward's punch was completely mistimed, and it went back towards his own goal and crept just wide of the post, and it's still in 4 minutes of injury time. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1.
Yeah, he looked really uncomfortable, Callum Ward. That's a few times this afternoon he's came among bodies. He doesn't look confident. That would just encourage Aberdeen to keep throwing balls into the box, keep putting them under pressure to see if they can try and force a mistake from him.
Carlson will try again from this right hand side with the corner kick. Aberdeen still trailing by a goal to nil. This time can't get it beyond Mazwanisi. Palaversa though keeps it alive. Out comes Ward this time, and he grabs that one under pressure from Alfie Dorrington, and Aberdeen just cannot find a way to go. They've struck frame of the goal on 2 occasions, most recently from Nicky Devlin's excellent attempt at a glancing header from the corner. Here comes Carlson, right hand side. Longlow trying to get back into the box. It's over Lazetic and all the way out to the far side for an Aberdeen throw, and it came off a Motherwell head. Aberdeen frantically looking for an equaliser here. We've played almost a minute and a half of stoppage time. It's Jensen out to Carlson once more. He slides it forward looking for Jensen. Off his line comes Ward and dives on that gratefully. Motherwell doing the high fives inside the penalty area as another Aberdeen attack breaks down, and still the home side trail. Launched long this time by Ward. Motherwell just need to try and get a hold of the ball and take it to the corner. It's Mazwanisi who might be the very man to do that. Rolls it back to Kutrumbis instead. Watt for Priestman, and now it's Kofi Balmer. Balmer closed down by Carlson, and he's been fouled by the Aberdeen winger, and Motherwell get a free kick, which is music to their ears as we enter the 3rd minute of stoppage time.
It's management from now from Motherwell, isn't it? Don't take any risks, play the ball in the opposition half, turn them at every opportunity, Willie. Don't encourage any kind of press.
No, I think you forget about all the little neat football in and around your box, don't you? You just want to run that clock down if you're in that Motherwell team.
Free kick then to be taken by Callum Ward, almost at the centre circle, launches it down the left hand side, looking for O'Song. It breaks back the way to Priestman. Nisbet's robbed him, but Priestman does well to win it back. Now it's the Matalopoulos inside the penalty area, rolls it back the way looking for Katrumbas. He's giving it away. It's Polvara who picks up, and Clarkson feeds it forward to Palaversa. Is this the moment? Palaversa driving forward, slips it to Lazetic. Lazetic takes out to the left hand side of the box. Clarkson in support. Here he is now. Clarkson, the little midfielder, rolls it back to Polvara. Polvara goes for goal and it's way off target. Woeful effort from Polvara, with Aberdeen having plenty of bodies forward. He couldn't find the final ball he was looking for, and in the final minute of added on time, it's still Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1.
It's speculative from him, isn't it? You know, Shawnee the left side, he's going away from goal, he's at the angle, he's 19 yards out, he blasts it way over the bar. There's plenty of red jerseys round about him. Just show that composure, you know, just start thinking about the game, put your foot in it, have a look, bring teammates into play instead of just blasting it over the bar, and it's huge relief for the Motherwell defenders.
Well, it's a penalty at Dens. Let's cross to Brian McLaughlin. We're in the last minute here.
We're in the last minute of stoppage time here. There's a penalty to Dundee. Substitute Charlie Riley brought down inside the box. I'm not sure who it was. It may well have been Adam Montgomery. Seconds previous to that, though, the Dundee goalkeeper John McCracken made a quite magnificent save after it looked sure that Lewis Smith was going to score a winner. But it's Dundee now who have the chance, a golden opportunity to try.
Brian, in the meantime, Aberdeen out the cup, Motherwell are through. Take it up.
It's going to be a penalty to Dundee. They will have the opportunity to score a winning goal. Stevie May is actually down receiving treatment at the moment. I'll come back to you very shortly, Al.
The final scenes at Pittodrie as the fans troop out, the Motherwell fans across in the stand at the far side celebrate because their side has emerged victorious with a one goal from Regan Charles Cook, enough to win it for them to send them in to the semi-final. Aberdeen hit the bar, they hit the post, but they could not find a goal, and they are out of the cup. They're bottom of the Premiership, and the pressure builds on Jimmy Tillene.
And Al, this penalty may not be given because there's now a VAR check. Stephen McLean has asked the referee Ross Hardy to come to the screen. Whether it was a dive, whether it was a touch or not, we still don't know. Ross Hardy's down looking at his screen at the moment. He's asking Stephen McLean obviously to have a look at the pictures. The penalty, the ball was in the spot ready to be taken. It was one of the Livingston players, Stevie May, who delayed that penalty kick because he was down receiving treatment. They're still looking at the screen is the referee Ross Hardy. Will this penalty kick be given? Will it be overturned by referee Ross Hardy? He's still looking at the pictures. He's walking away now. He's coming back onto the pitch and he's given the penalty. The penalty has been given, so it will be a penalty kick for Dundee. We're just going to have a look and see exactly who's going to be taking it. It looks as if it will be Callum Jones, the substitute, only on the pitch for 20 minutes. And this is a huge opportunity for Dundee and Stephen Presley to achieve their first Premiership win of the season. Their last victory came in the last day of last season. Eventually that was good enough to ensure they maintained their place in the Premiership. So it's going to be substitute Callum Jones up against the Livingston goalkeeper Jerome Pryor. The referee Ross Hardy just ensuring that the rest of the players are outside the penalty box. And here comes Callum Jones. He's stepping back now, and here now comes Callum Jones to try and give Dundee what could be a crucial victory and indeed take them into the top half of the table. He steps up right-footed and he scores! We're into the 6th minute of additional time here at Dens Park. The fans are on their feet. It's Dundee 3, Livingston 2.
Yeah, amazing scenes there up there at Dens Park. Billy Dodds alongside me in the studio. That was a great penalty under big pressure, Billy. Yeah, that time of the game, Dundee want to get away from second bottom, get a win under their belt, climb up to 5th. It's dramatic, isn't it? But he showed calmness and struck it away. I mean, the penalty is debatable. If being a footballer, when Charlie Riley knocked it past Danny Wilson, he just left his leg hang in there.
The referees had a look at it and decided to give it, but I can see why they were looking, because I think he's played for it.
He's had a long look, the referee there. We can see David Martindale on the touchline. It looks now as if that is going to be an amazing victory for Dundee. What a game has been up there this afternoon. And don't forget, plenty more to come on Sportsland. 5:45 start at Ibrox, the League Cup quarter-final. Rangers at home to Hibs. I know there have been protests, very noisy protests outside Ibrox Stadium. Our reporter Martin Dowden will bring us news of that. We'll get the team news from Liam McLeod in just a couple of minutes' time there. We'll get the thoughts of our pundits. We'll of course go back to Pittodrie. Post-match reaction, 1,100 Motherwell fans up there, absolutely delighted with their team's performance. They can now look forward to a trip to the National Stadium for the League Cup semi-finals. They will take place at the beginning of November. St Mirren, of course, doing the business last night in dramatic fashion. Penalty shootout down at Rugby Park, just waiting for the final whistle to go from this one league game taking place in the top flight this afternoon. Plenty of drama there. Brian McLaughlin is our reporter. So a late corner here for Livy, Brian.
Swung in's been cleared away, punched away by the Dundee goalkeeper, and the full-time whistle goes here in a dramatic afternoon at Dens Park. It's finished Dundee 3, Livingston 2, but that barely tells the story of this game. Dundee 2 goals up after goals from Simon Murray and Joe Wesley. An own goal from Clark Robertson with 15 minutes to play gave Livingston a lifeline, and then with 7 minutes left, the West Lothian club drew level from the penalty spot after Lewis Smith had been brought down. Vakio with a penalty, giving John McCracken no hope at all. Deep into stoppage time, McCracken made a magnificent save from Lewis Smith. The ball play raged up the other end. Down went the substitute. It was the substitute Charlie Riley. VAR intervened, but the referee stood his ground. Ross Harding said the penalty should be awarded, and the substitute, well, the pressure was on. 96 minutes on the clock when Callum Jones hammered the ball home to send home 5,000 Dundee fans. Very happy indeed. It finished here at Dens Park. Dundee 3, Livingston 2.
Yeah, fantastic.